Cool. So we and Jay have literally just done the marathon of the marathon of how do you say, Dilo versus all of the bigger dinosaurs in the game. The Stego one was my least favorite. It sucked ass. Which one would you actually say was your most favorite out of the Dilo fights versus the bigger guys? Sarah, really?
Yep.
To be honest, actually, I was going to say Tenno, but then I remembered how the Tenno one ended when we figured out what to do, and that's just not fun. I still have to say Carlo for me.
Not at daytime. At nighttime, sure, not at daytime.
Well, Dilo versus Carlo during daytime. Oh,
yeah,
dude,
that was not fun.
100%, 100%. That's just not fun. It's just... But yeah, honestly, Serrado was decently fun during nighttime. And no, during nighttime, Serrado was an awful fucking experience for the Serrado. But
yeah, the Serrado just shits the bucket the second it's it's nighttime and you get them in.
The fact that you can just trade for an alt bite is insane. So, Dilophosaurus, Jay, do you believe Dilophosaurus needs a nerf?
That depends. I feel like Dilophosaurus needs a small rework.
A small rework?
Instead of just a nerf.
Yeah, I mean, straight away, I can say that Dilo needs small buffs towards its AI when it comes towards water and certain environments. And its actual kit does need a rework. I would agree with you on that one. 100%.
Yes.
Yeah. See, I don't know how to do this without with someone else there, because...
Yeah.
What do you think needs to be reworked about the Dilo? If you have any different points or just the same points you've had?
Well, Dilo's Venom needs to be made more interactive. And the hallucinations shouldn't do base Dilo damage. They should be percentage-based damage.
Yeah. Because that'd be pretty good, because it would disincentivize wanting to use the hallucinations versus, like, a raptor, for example. Because your bite just does more damage than, like, a bunch of hallucinations could do. I mean, like, the idea that I had... Oh, that was close. If I actually ran into you, you would have collided. The idea that I had for the rework is that you make the cooldown...
Keep talking.
I can't concentrate. This fucking dickhead. That you make the cooldown of the or you make the recharge of the summons longer, but you make it so that if you land a bite as the Dilo when they're purple, it speeds up the recharge of your next hallucination. So not all three of them, just the one that's currently recharging. Do you think that it should just give you a charge back though, Jay?
Yes.
It should just give you a charge back.
Yes.
Yeah, cool. So what would you want to have the recharge length to be? Because it's currently 10 seconds. 1 minute.
I think 1 minute, because that way a single Dilo can't just spam the hallucinations and then force to go in for
Plus,
so they will only have one charge, since the Venom lasts for 5 minutes in each stage.
You have 8 summons.
The Dilo only has which wouldn't be enough to do that much damage.
If it's 8 summons, I kind of would just say keep the hallucination damage the same as its Bite Force. Unless we go with the other nutty idea that I had, which is that it's a ramping percentage. Actually, let's just do the maths. 8 summons, ramping percentage, 1%, 2%, 4%, 8%, 16%, that's 5.
I think it should have a cap eventually.
Yeah, because then you do 16%, 32%, 64%, and then they're fucking dead.
Yep.
And that's with 7. Yeah.
I think the cap should be maybe
or just 6%. Or it just increases by... You know what, actually? Maybe 6% is... But here's the yeah, wait, so 8 hallucinations versus a Stego, each one doing 6% of its health.
Yes.
That's 60% of its health with 1 Dilo, technically speaking, across 5 minutes. So you'd need 2 Dilos to kill a Stego.
Yes.
Would you be...
Especially if the Venom is made more interactive, so the Dilo can't just sit back and watch.
No, what I'm saying is that if it gets 8 baseline, because it starts with 3, and it has 1 every minute, so 5. Technically speaking, though, Technically speaking, though, it's actually 7 because the 5th one recharges as they get out of purple.
Yep.
So technically, it's 7. So
technically speaking, you would have 2 hallucinations because the passive one spawns in every 1 minute or so, and then you can send out your own every 1 minute.
True.
As well.
True. I feel like 6 towards a stagger is too much. I'm not gonna lie. Like 1 Dilo. If we include the passives, so we have 4 plus the 3 that you start off with is 7 plus the passives is 1 every minute. But didn't it change? It was 1 minute at first, and it was like 1 minute something else. As you have it written down somewhere, I'm not sure.
You could make it just consecutive. If the dials just keep coming consecutively, one after another, the damage increases. But if they stop coming in for a decent chunk, then their damage goes back to base.
You know what, actually? I genuinely quite like that idea. But at the same, I really, really like that idea when it comes to Carno, Serrado, Tenno, Raptor, right? So it starts off at 1%, then 2%, then 4%, 8%, 16%. But if the chain is broken, it goes all the way back down to 1%, right?
Yes.
So therefore, it's... Your hallucinations aren't doing too much, but you want to do the hallucinations so that you yourself can get bites.
Yes.
And then if you're in a group, the chance... Should it be... Would you allow a stipulation... Say, for example, you have 4 dinos. Would you have a stipulation that it would ramp even from someone else's dino? So say, for example, like you and me are fighting a Carno, and I summon 2 hallucinations, you summon 1. My first one hits, my second one is destroyed, but your second one hits before my second one's destroyed. Would you say that counts as a ramp towards you, where your one just does 4% because mine hit?
I'm not sure.
Because
the chain, either way.
Because the chain would still be broken, but it adds a bit more group play in which you'd kind of want to synchronize your charges with other people.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll say that's actually pretty much fair, because it's like it also then gives you a reason to actually go after the hallucinations, not because they just instantly do more damage, but because you're trying to delay that damage.
Yes.
Yeah, I say that's actually fair. Yeah. I quite like that idea. I really do. One thing I do want for Dilo to be changed is also its stamina or speed.
Yep.
To be in line with Raptor. I want its stamina at least to be the same as Raptor's stamina. Because it's silly to me that a Dilo can just run down a Raptor no matter what. Yeah, because especially as well with the Dilo having the stamina of a Raptor, it adds a difference between the 2 dinosaurs in terms of their biting, in which one has a better turn and one has a better just speed, acceleration. I think makes sense.
I would also be fine with Dilo just having less stamina than Raptor as well.
Less stam?
Yes, because the Dilo is just more powerful in every other way. It already has more speed. It has more damage. It has more health. It bucks a Raptor off in 7 seconds.
True.
Which means the Raptor immediately has less stamina than you.
Yeah. That is true. That's true. However, with the stamina thing, we have to consider the other matchups as well. In which I don't want... Like, say for example, you lower Dilo stamina to be lower than Raptors.
Yeah.
And then you put Dilo in a fight versus a Carno, even at nighttime.
Yeah.
Potentially, the Carno could actually just waste the fucking Dilo stamina. And then it's just, you know...
Well, I'm not talking about a massive change. Obviously, like, what is Raptors? I think Raptors like
2 minutes 15. 2 minutes 15 is Raptor stamina currently.
And Raptor is 235.
Dilo is 235, yeah.
You could just make Dilo 210. 5 seconds less.
You know what? Actually, 210 would actually... You know what? I actually am okay with that. I think that's actually pretty fair. You are slower than the Raptor, so... I mean, you're faster than the Raptor, but you have less stamina by like 5 seconds.
You also have and you have an ability that lets you attack him in range.
In range, yeah. So. Plus, if you think about it, 5 seconds of Dilo stamina takes it way further than 5 seconds for Raptor.
Yep.
You know what, actually, let me just do some quick mental math. What is the speed of Dilo again, sorry?
47.6, I believe.
For 47.6. Cool. Let me just... 47.6. And Raptor speed is
46.8, I believe.
cool. So we keep that thing the same. And we do the same stamina. So oh shit. So what's that equation I have to do? It's the kilometer an hour conversion. I'm trying to work out how far both of them travel quickly. And you just multiply it. Cool. So I do this equals this multiplied by this. And I do this equals this multiplied by this. Cool. And then we multiply, that's meters per second, by, what was it? It's 2 minutes 10 now for the Dilo and 2 minutes 15 for the Raptor, right?
2 minutes 15 and 2 minutes 10. Yes,
yeah.
If we do the new one.
Yeah, cool. So Dilos will be 130 seconds total. And
yes.
Raptors will be 135. Interestingly enough, actually, right? The Dilo will travel 1,718 meters. The Raptor will travel 1,755 meters.
Yeah.
I think that's fair. I actually think that's fair.
It's also, if you remember, Dilo also has the faster trot.
Exactly, yeah. It has the faster. I think that's actually a fair fucking thing. In my opinion. Yeah. 110 and 115 is actually, I think Jay, you've actually hit a fucking sweet spot in terms of stamina straight away. Because I don't mind that. The Raptor gets 37 meters ahead of the Dilo, which the Dilo can trot down. You know?
Yep.
So it's like, if the Raptor gets a head start, the Dilo just isn't really catching it. Plus, we also have to consider the Raptor juking the Dilo, and the Dilo may be wasting more stamina or losing distance and shit like that. Yeah. Plus, the Raptor can jump at any point. So it, you know.
Yep.
I think that's pretty fair, yeah, honestly. I like that. I like that. I genuinely quite like that. What else can we say about Dilo? We've addressed at least our proposed change for how Venom works.
What else was there about Dilo? We did talk about something else about Dilo, but I don't remember what it was.
Nor do I. Maybe we just need to just keep discussing Dilo things. I think the idea you were having before was the idea of the devs being more experimental with how they do damage modifiers on different zones.
Ah, yes.
The idea of Dilo... Yeah. You say it, go on.
So my idea for Dilo was to give it that feel of being fragile. You give it a higher damage multiplier to the body and head, 2 times for the head and 1.5 times to the body.
Yep.
That way, Dilo remains
I'm fairly sure
as it was intended to be.
I'm fairly sure that the carnivores is a carnivore headshot universally normally 1.5, right?
I think so.
Yeah, it's normally universally 1.5. Yeah, so you'd just be taking it to 2 times instead.
Yep. So.
Yeah, so
if Dilo becomes more fragile and balanced, which means you would have to work more in tandem with your group mates.
Yeah.
And can't just face tank creatures at nighttime as well.
Exactly. That was the main issue we had.
Because your Venom would then also be, more interactive.
Yep.
You have to keep going in for it. You can't just face tank the creature in the beginning of the fight.
Yeah. An idea that I was having, right, is if we were to scrap the idea or not do the idea of a percentage-based Dilo Venom, and it is Bite Force, because I don't think we tested this, but to make the Dilo's Venom bites be affected by the Dilo's stamina and wounded effects. But at the same time, I also don't like that thematically, because the Venom is something intrinsic to the dinosaur.
Yep.
So maybe that's an interesting thing you could do, maybe. I have an idea that could solve it. Right?
Yes.
So you get charges back by biting. It's 1 minute every charge. Instead of the damage being based off of the Dilo's health and status, it's based off of the Prey's health and status. So the higher their health, so say for example they've just been envenomated, headshot to the head at nighttime with an ult bite on a 10-0. It's taken 100 and whatever it is, 120 something damage. It has like 1,500 left. So whatever the lowest bite force a Dilo can get at like max wounded is, you make it percentage and proportional towards the dinosaur. But as the Tenno gets weaker and weaker and weaker, the Dilo AI is getting stronger and stronger and stronger, which could mimic the idea of, the venom slowly like taking over you and killing you. And it also gives you counterplay because you can start interrupting the Dilos and getting rid of the hallucinations, as well as for the Dilo to get more hallucinations.
The only problem I'd have with that is what happens if 4 Dilos now face tank a creature to get it
low
down to health,
and
then just spam the hallucinations after.
That is true. At the same time, though, I feel like if 4 Dilos were to fight a Cerrado and they just face tanked it, I think the Cerrado would just die regardless.
Fair.
Maybe against like a Carno and Tenno would be way, way harder. We could actually just test that now if we really, really wanted to. Get a Tenno.
No, I don't mind it. I think the math speaks for itself. If 4 Dilos were to face tank a Tenno with the ridiculous spike speed, then I'm pretty certain they would probably just either kill it or just do enough damage where just a few hallucinations would just kill it immediately anyways.
No, exactly. But it's like, I think that's at least interesting because it puts the Dilo's power in terms of its damage into the hands of its opponents, not the Dilo. One thing I don't really like about Dilo right now is that the AI is affected by, not really affected by you, but it's just you stay back and you just summon clones. Yeah. There is no risk to you at all. It's like, I mean, you could even do a thing where like, because we have to think about. I guess I guess I am kind of sort of thinking about your idea of like the whole thing of how'd you say, just face tanking the Tenno. I feel like if you face tank a Tenno, the Tenno 180 kicks the Dilos. It starts kicking. It probably kills like one of them or 2 of them in that, or it does so many alt bites. I guess, but then again, it is 4 Dilos versus a fucking Tenno at nighttime. It'd be like if we were saying that 4 Raptors versus a Tenno on a fucking ambush. Should they kill the Tenno? And kind of be like, well, they all got a good pounce in. Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Especially as you can, the biggest Dilo counter that I see anyone doing is just hiding at nighttime. Or just playing differently.
Yep.
So it's like, you can actually play and never actually see Dilos at all. Ooh.
The bad to the lizard.
Bad to the glizzard.
Yeah.
It is fun. It is fun. What the topic things about Dilo could be brought up? What are the complaints about Dilo have you seen? Oh shit, bro.
Just the length of the venom,
which I think is fine. Yeah.
However, the idea we've had was if something is on stage 3 of venom, and
yes,
you from stage 3,
you get sent back to stage 1.
Stage, whatever.
They go back to stage or stage 1. No stage.
No stage.
No stage,
if they're on stage 2, they go back to stage 1, and if they're on stage 1, they go back to stage 0.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Especially in that Stego fight that we were having.
Yep.
Routinely, because it is 1 Dino versus Stego, you just go back to stage 2. If you went back to stage 0, which I'm perfectly fine with, because it's your body fighting off the venom, you survived.
Yes.
Which I also think adds more credence towards, say for example, it's nighttime, you're a Carno, Cerrado, Tenno, and you do some decent damage versus like a solo Dino, right?
Yep.
So some decent damage versus the solo Dino. You have high health, so the hallucinations are already doing less damage to you because you're on good health. Touche. The Dino can't afford to go in for bites, but it can, however, it's not yet out the fight. It can still win, potentially. So it summons its clones. Hallucinations. They start doing damage, lowering the dude's health. The damage slowly but surely ramps up. Like, I'm talking like the damage starts at like 20, 30 bite force. and then you need to start going down towards like under half before it starts getting to like 40. Oh shit, I'm dead. Anyways.
Oh, I thought you healed.
No,
Oh.
I didn't heal. I mean, you could just do it on like percentage. If you're at 100% health, which you won't be because that's impossible, unless of course you just were allowed to heal during the Venom stage, but who cares? It will do.
Well, then it will heal you anyways.
Yeah, it will do 0% damage. If you drop to 99, it does 1% damage, and then so on, so forth, so forth. So it actually makes it more interactive for the Dilo again, because to make the hallucinations do more, you also need to be landing bites. At the beginning of the fight, your bites are going to be doing more than the hallucinations doing. I think is fair. How does Dilo then fare up against... I completely forgot the point I was making. Oh yeah, so you could then start outlasting the Venom. And because you're in stage 0, the Dilo can't just run up and bite you like once or twice. It's going to have to do the whole process again during daytime, more than likely. So, it's always a thing.
Yeah, I think that's good.
Yeah, how about versus like groups?
The biggest complaints I have seen with people in Dilo is just that Dilo is just so uninteractive.
Yeah.
I do think just making Dilo's Venom more interactive in of itself would just immediately help Dilo a lot, because they have to consistently go in for attacks.
No, exactly, yeah.
So they can't really just do nothing.
No, exactly. Dilo faring against groups. I think one thing that's definitely going to interrupt with Dilo reworks and stuff is the vision that the devs had for the Dilo. Being this very solo experience of, I am isolated from my group. Do you still think that Dilo needing to go for bites will be able to handle a dinosaur in a group?
I do.
Yeah.
Because they can still damage the creature while they're not doing anything.
Yeah.
And if you make the charges for 1 minute each, and someone can just spam all 3, and someone just waits. What we already do is just waits until someone has a charge back.
True, and then we also go in and pretend to be a fucking Dilo as well, yeah.
Yes.
Furthermore, one thing you can actually do in a group, say for example, it's a group of like 4 Tenos. You could just, if you have 4 Dilos, envenomate 2 Tenos. You know?
Yeah.
Or just envenomate each Teno, well, 1 Teno each. You know what, actually, yeah. I actually agree with you there. Because I don't really want Dilo to get a free ticket to kill a dinosaur in a group. Just because it's, you know, isolated.
Yes.
But it still is isolated and your clones are still doing damage. But you also now need to go in for bites, which makes it harder. But if you're really, really skilled, because I've seen players, you know, go up against groups and kill one member of the group and then peace out, you know? I like, technically, we've done it with Raptors, you know, killing a member of a Stego pack. I tried to run forward, don't dodge it. I kind of think that's everything that really needs to be covered for Dilo, I think. That's kind of, that's most of my thoughts about it, what I'd like to see happen to it.
Yeah.
Damn, 39 HP. Yeah, not bad. Sick.
Yeah.
Easy video. We never need to touch Dilo ever again, except for just playing it normally. What else actually needs to be tested, really?
Huh?
What else actually really needs to be tested? There hasn't really been any more mechanics or changes or anything.
No.
Not really. I guess things that we'll do in the future will probably just be group fights. You know? Like getting all of us as Raptors versus like Haru's Stego or Tenno or whatever, and just... Yeah, cool, sick. Cool, let's end the recording there. Fuck this, we're done.